Okay, so I need your help. There's this thing that we've been talking about called slope intercept form. You can tell me what that is. Peyton. Mx plus b. Oh, y equals. Is he right? Is that what that is? Getting a couple people shaking their heads. Okay. What does the m stand for? The m is our slope. And what is the b? It's our y-intercept. Okay. So I'm making this beautiful graph here. Last chapter, I gave you an equation and you got to graph it for me, right? Today, at least for a few problems, I'm going to give you a graph and you got to tell me about the y-intercept and the slope, okay? So copy this graph in this little note sheet. And then what I want you and your elbow partner to decide, what is our slope? What is our slope? And what is our y-intercept? Ready, set, go. Brady, you must be not very good at sharpening pencils. Hey, Grady. 303. Your brain is dead? Why? Okay. Gavin, what is our slope? How'd you get here? So we go up 2, that's it, that's all I have to do, just up 2? No, then what? Okay, so our rise was 2, our run was 1. Maybe I should go ahead and, so our rise was 2, our run was 1, and is it positive or negative? Positive, because we're rising, okay. Cool. And you're not gonna write 2 over 1. If you do, I'll just like make fun of you in my head, but I won't make fun of you outwardly, okay? Preston, before you go fill up your water bottle, what's our y-intercept? Elliot, where did he get -1 from? He said the y-intercept is -1. Where'd he get that from? Look at the graph. Where'd he get -1 from? Okay, here we go. The y-axis. We go through the y-axis at this -1. We're right here. Okay. So if our slope is 2 and our y-intercept is -1, then y equals mx plus b is y equals 2x plus -1. I'm going to write -1. Is that okay? You'll allow it? No? Thanks, Sophia. Sophia. Okay, I need you to turn the page. I would like you to figure out the slope-intercept forms for 7, 8, and 9. So you need to write y equals mx plus b, and I would love for you to work with your elbow partner.
But you write one. But would that be? We have to read it the whole thing. I guess it's all three.
Okay, all three of those, okay. Every day.
You gotta do the rest of
What? So now I consider actually right. Y equals I really like hearing the mathematical conversations, but I really dislike hearing the non-mathematical conversations.
Me plus Betty, you.
Sign, am I right? Equal sign?
Oh.
I have
Instead of slope, I wrote sweet baby.
You should sit here and learn my
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about these. Eyes up here. Eyes up here. Nirvan. Nirvan, what's our slope for number 7? He said -4 with a question mark in his voice. Colin, how did he get -4?
It's because he went down to get to the same level as 0, -1, and then just went over 1.
Okay, so our rise was 4, our run was 1, and it's a falling line, right? So -4, we're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Estelle, what's our y-intercept?
I got -1.
Okay. So if we're gonna write this, we're gonna write y equals -4x minus 1. Beautiful. Okay. Number 8. Maddie, what's our slope? 4/2. Do you think I want you to leave it as 4/2? Okay. I do want you to simplify it to 2. Do you agree with the 4/2, the initial assessment there? Okay. Aiden, what's our B? What's our y-intercept? Where does this line go through the y-axis at? Here's the y-axis. Oh, so our y-intercept is 0. So when we write this line, we're gonna write y equals mx plus b. Guess what? Plus 0, totally not necessary. Y equals 2x is just fine. Okay. Seth, what's our slope for number 9? So you counted 2/2 and you simplified it to 1. Does that sound good to you guys? Okay. Amy, what's our y-intercept? Also 1. Okay, here's our y-intercept right there. So we have y equals mx plus b. Would we have to write the 1 in front of the x? You would not have to. If you do write it, am I going to be upset? No, and I won't judge you either. I won't. Okay. Okay, now I did skip over these problems right here, where I literally give you the slope and the y-intercept. Do I need to go through how to write y equals mx plus b for those? Y equals mx plus b. This is m, this is b. Okay. Now, moving forward. I want you to look at every single y-intercept. Now, I don't think I should have to give you the graph for you to figure this out, but what is true about every single y-intercept coordinate?
They have a 0 at the beginning.
Oh. So every single y-intercept has an x coordinate of 0. So go over to the next page and let's look at 13. I want to know what our slope intercept form is for this line. Well, I don't actually have the graph. I have 2 points. But there's something special about one of these points. Oh, this guy right here. So what's true about this point? This is our y-intercept. So what's b? So b is -4. Okay. Let's go back.
What's B again?
B means y-intercept. Whoever asked that. Okay. So every single y-intercept has an x coordinate of 0. Okay. So when we talk about our y-intercept, we have 0, comma b. Essentially is what's happening. And that b and y equals mx plus b is our y-intercept. Okay. So in number 13, if you have a coordinate whose x is 0, that's giving you your y-intercept. So I could like totally graph this, right? Wouldn't have to, but 0, -4 is this guy right here. That is your y-intercept. Okay. Well, what else do we need to know in order to be able to give y equals mx plus b? Oh. Do what? Too much work. There is some subtraction involved and some division. The y minus y over x minus x. Remember that? Yes, you just did it on your test. Eight over eight, right?
Yeah.
Which is one.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So y equals 1x minus 4. Now, technically, we wouldn't need the 1, but if you wrote it, no one's going to get upset. All right. Your job is to write mean y equals mx plus b for number 15.
Only don't say you don't have to do that. Does that make sense?
Why? Right there. They're not.
Okay. Reagan, what did you identify first? Like the y-intercept? And what is our y-intercept? Okay, so we know that b is 2. Amelia, why is b 2? Why did Reagan identify b to be 2? Awesome. Okay. Then, Holden, what do we need to identify? And how did you do that? Okay, which goes in the numerator? Four is the rise. Even though I asked you to do 15. Regardless, finding slope is the same. So We have rise and run. Which one corresponds to X and which one corresponds to Y? Oh, so if I want rise over run, then I need to subtract what up here? Okay. So 3 minus 2 and 4 minus 0. If you did 2 minus 3 and 0 minus 4, do you get the same thing?
No. You get negative.
Let's see. 3 minus 2 is 1 and 4 minus 0 is 4. 2 minus 3 is -1 and 0 minus 4 is -4. I repeat, do we get the same thing? They're the same thing. I don't see a negative. Okay. It does not matter. Okay, guys, I don't have a lot of voice. It doesn't matter which one you choose first in your subtraction. It just matters that you're consistent. 3 and 4 are from the same coordinate, 2 and 0 are from the same coordinate. They need to be stacked together. So our slope is 1/4. So we have y equals 1/4 x plus 2. Okay. Look at number 19. 19 is not any different. Do you believe me?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
F of 0 equals -5. What's another way to write that?
Why?
Okay, y is -5 when x is 0. Oh, so I could rewrite this as 0, -5, like a coordinate.
Oh. That makes sense.
So is this problem any different than the two we just
Yeah,
did?
you have to do that before.
No, you just gotta look at it a different way and then you can put it to the problems that we just did.
Yes, okay? Just because it's in function notation doesn't mean you need to freak out. It's just a different way of writing your coordinates. Okay? Now, I want to make sure we give enough time to talk about our last problem. So I want to look down at number 25. I think that we'll be okay without solving it. I want you to read through number 25. Okay. An electrician charges an initial fee of $50 and $190 after 4 hours of work. What?
The initial fee has already been paid.
With the initial fee in there. So, write a linear model that represents the total cost as a function of the number of hours worked. What that means, write the total cost as a function. So that is like our y. Total cost is like our y as a function of the number of hours worked. That's going to be our x. We're not going to need to make a table. Okay. But we can write a linear model. We can write y equals mx plus b that represents this problem. Okay, so let's change these into coordinates so we can think of it more like a graph. If y is the total cost and x is the number of hours worked, how could we write this right here as a coordinate? Okay, so like x comma y, what's our coordinate? 0 hours have been worked, but we have to pay $50. Ah, for 190.
That's a big graph.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do we know our y-intercept? Our y-intercept is right here. Our y-intercept is 50, so we know that b is 50. Okay, can we calculate our slope? Yeah, we can calculate our slope. We have two coordinates, don't we? Let's take y minus y over x minus x. What's this? 140 over 4? Is that 35? Oh, okay. Huh. So our linear model is y equals 35x plus 50. So this is what can happen. We can, if x means the number of hours, then I can plug in 5. If I work 5 hours, I plug 5 into here and it tells me how much to charge. If I work 2 hours, I plug in 2 for x and it tells me how much to charge. Now, how much does the electrician charge per hour?
$35.
What'd you say? 85. I was like, where'd you get, okay. So I have 2 people telling me that $35 is how much they charge per hour.
That's a lot. That's not reasonable.
How? Yeah, this is old. Really old. How do they know that that's what that is? How do they know that 35 is per hour?
Because what we did was
Because we said so.
the initial fee and then the hours, how much we charged for 4 hours. And then we divided that to get like basically like the structure. So if you go back and to check that, that would probably go in.
So this is slope, right?
Yeah,
Amelia, do you have something to add to that?
I was just gonna say.
Hey, X is the number of hours. And they're asking charge per hour. So if I have $35 per hour times the number of hours, our rates, remember slope is a rate of change, right? And it is a constant rate of change. Okay.
Not playing without.
For what?
playing.
So if we graph this, we would have a line like this.
So how do you find it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I don't want to talk over your voices. So your homework assignment is from the book, very straightforward. It's already in Google Classroom. Tomorrow, we're gonna do something pretty cool on our computers, so make sure they're here and charged, okay? What, Sophia?